Hello from the Canon Academy Homeschool. I am here today to give another book review. Most of these books start at grade level 3 reading and they go to 6th grade and up, just depending on your child's interest and reading level. That's not to say that a younger child couldn't read the 3rd grade books and so forth. So the first book is a classic, Charlotte's Web by E.B. White. Everyone knows the story of how Charlotte has a pig, how Fern, has a pig named Wilbur who meets Charlotte the spider, and Wilbur and Charlotte become best friends. And Charlotte actually goes to the fair with Wilbur while they're showing him, and she writes the words "some pig" in her spider web, so everybody thinks he's great and he wins the prize. Unfortunately, at the end, and most of we adults already know this, Charlotte dies after hatching eggs, and Wilbur takes care of her babies. So it's a heartwarming story about how different animals get along with each other, and how you can like each other even if you are different, and see the different talents that each person has, even though these are animals. And it also helps children learn about death and how life does go on, and opens discussions for that. The next two books I have are Magic Treehouse books. It is a series for 3rd graders. This one is number 14, The Day of the Dragon King. All of them are written by Mary Pope Osborne. In this book, Jack and Annie find out when the Magic Treehouse whisks them back to ancient China that there is a powerful emperor called the Dragon King, and he's ordered that all books be burned. It says, will Jack or Annie be able to save at least one book, or will they be captured by the emperor's soldiers? Well, they probably do save them. Anyway, as you can see by the print, a 3rd grader could definitely read it. Maybe an advanced 2nd grader. A 4th grader would probably still enjoy the stories and things. There's always a mystery. There's always some sort of historic facts laid out within them and things like that. So it's a fairly easy read. They are chapter books. This one is number 4, and it's The Pirates Past Noon. And the Magic Treehouse whisks Jack and Annie back to the days of deserted islands and nasty pirates. It says, will they discover buried treasure, or will they walk the plank? So this is a fun little story too. Of all the things that kids like to read with adventures and things. Next up, I'm going to go to another classic series, The Hardy Boys. These are written by Franklin W. Dixon. There are various different versions out, some for younger children, some that have been updated to reflect modern times and things like that. This particular version is 1957 edition, which I have quite a few, not all, but quite a few, and this is The Ghost at Skeleton Rock. And these boys are from 10 to 14 in this story, and they go on a lot of adventures together, being brothers. They're the son of a famous American detective, and there's always clues that they need to follow to solve the mystery. So the fact that they're aged 10 to 14 tells you that, depending on your child's level, they may still enjoy this even if they're 14. Then I have 2 other books. I'd like to say this one is a classic because I've read similar stories. The Beeded Moccasin is the story of Mary Campbell. It says in May 11th, 1759, on her 12th birthday, her life has a terrifying turn. She is kidnapped by some fearsome Delaware Indians and taken from her family in Pennsylvania all the way to Delaware on foot. She refuses to adopt any of the Delaware ways, and she holds on to the memory of her family as tightly as she does her dreams for escape. But to survive, she pretends to be learning and enjoying, not planning to flee. And as the seasons change, Mary realizes with surprise that she is no longer pretending. And when at last she has the chance to leave her new family, she is no longer sure she wants to return to the life of indoor chores and heavily starched clothes. So it says, is she Mary Campbell or a woman who saved the corn? Which one is she? She has to decide. This is reading level 5th grade, 6 months, so halfway through the 5th grade year. Your child might be interested in this. It's historical fiction. I know that there are several historic records on file where this did happen and stuff. So it's a good read, and it gives you a little insight into Native Americans and how they live also. Okay, this is not exactly the stories that go along with the Spiderwick Chronicles, which everybody's come to know. It is a notebook in which there are some little short stories and you answer questions and insights in it. Now, the Spiderwick Chronicles themselves are very good. They're kind of similar to Harry Potter in that they're magical creatures and things like that. I believe this says that this book is 7 and up. I'm looking at some of the things written in it, and that just looks a little older than what a 7-year-old would read. So maybe a 7-year-old could do it with help. It's more than likely for an older child, at least 4th or 5th grade. Then we have Walk 2 Moons. This is a very good story. It is 5th grade level. It's about 13-year-old Salamanca Tree Hill, who's known as Sal, and she's traveling from Ohio to Idaho with her grandparents in search of her mother. And along the way, she tells them the story of Phoebe Winterbottom, who received mysterious messages, met a potential lunatic, and whose mother disappeared. Beneath Phoebe's story is actually Sal's story and that of her mother, who left her one day for Idaho and has not returned. So she has less than a week to get to Idaho in time for her mother's birthday and bring her back. Despite her father's warning that she is fishing in the air, Sal knows this journey is the only chance she has for reuniting with her family. But it is a very good book. As you can see, it has won the John Newbery Medal. Okay, last but not least, I have 3 books in the Dear America series, which we have probably 15 or 20 at least. Now this one is Across the Wild and Lonesome Prairie, the Oregon Trail Diary of Hattie Campbell, 1847. These are definitely historical fiction based on live accounts. So it says, now that we're in the North Platte River Valley, the air feels dry and thin. My lips are so chapped they bleed when I talk. The only thing to do is dip our fingers into the bucket of axle grease and rub our lips every hour or so. It smells bad, it tastes bad, and the blowing dust sticks. It feels like we must be halfway to Oregon, but Tall Joe says no, we've only gone 500 miles. He also says the worst part of the trail is to come. Does he mean more rivers to cross? I'm afraid to ask what he's talking about. So this would be a very good book. I'm thinking that because of that, 4th or 5th grade and older would be good. You could read it to younger children. I would just do it like read one section one day at a time, and if the days are super long, I would read only half, because they're going to lose their attention span, where an older child would probably become deeply involved in the story and learn a lot of historical facts and geography along the way. Our next book takes place in Washington, D.C. in 1917, and it's A Time for Courage, the Suffragette Diary of Kathleen Bowen. And on the back, I have read these, but it's been a few years. I read them with my daughter. It says January 18th, 1917. The picket line has been going on for more than a week, and people said they would not last a day, and the weather still has not broken. What's more, news of the pickets is spreading. More and more women are coming from other parts of the district, and some from as far away as Maryland and Virginia. President Wilson felt so sorry for them in the cold that he invited them in for coffee, but they refused. They said they would come in only to talk about federal amendment for women's rights to vote. No coffee. This made me think of Sojourner Truth's words about men who helped lift women into carriages and over puddles. That, of course, was the easy part, just like giving them coffee. Giving them the vote is the hard part. And this kind of plays into what's going on here in America right now with the vote of the people being threatened for various different reasons and everything, and women's rights about to be turned backwards. So this would be a very good book for your child to read, whether they're male or female. And this book is about Normandy, France in 1944, and it is the Journal of Scott Pendleton Collins, a World War II soldier. And I think a lot of boys would get into this, and even a few girls. It says June 7th, 1944, I could see Omaha Beach through the smoke and haze as our assault boat rocked in the choppy waters. The noise was unbelievable. Shells hissing overhead, great booms along the shores, the Navy pounded the Nazi positions. A boat up ahead had been hit. Everywhere there were guys in the water. Some were splashing their way towards shores. The bullets kicked up the water around them. Others were already dead, their bodies floating against the still obstacles. As we stopped abruptly on a sandbar, our boat's ramp dropped. I could hear fire from the automatics slamming into the still sides. Okay, this is it. Everybody out. Let's go, let's go. Pretty exciting, scary, but it's a good read. Again, at least 5th grade and up for some of these stories, but they definitely will bring to life World War II, the suffragettes, the Oregon Trail. There are some on the Depression and the Dust Bowl and things like that. Just a wide range of knowledge to bring children in and make them want to learn a little bit more. So I will post the titles, the authors, and things like that, and the grade levels in my description below. If you found this interesting, please hit like and even subscribe. It's free to subscribe. Share with your friends. And until next time, I will see you from the Cannon Academy Homeschool. Bye-bye.